29, it's day 29. Day 29. Hello and welcome back to day 29 of Inktober 2020. And the word today was shoes. I've actually been practicing drawing shoes over the past few days, so this was actually a pleasant surprise because I have increasingly been frustrated with how difficult I find it to draw shoes and have them actually look good or interesting and not just do really simple cartoony shoes that require no effort. So the past few days have been actually finding some spare time to have a good sketch in my sketchbook on practicing drawing shoes using reference photos. And when I saw today's word, I was like, oh yay, I get to put my practice into practice. Yep, that made sense, but it didn't sound very good. Anyway, I found a reference photo on Pinterest for the pose I wanted to do and pretty much just use the shoes from that pose as well. It's a little bit different in the fact that one of the legs is a little bit further forward than the other, so they're not quite touching the same way as they are in the photo, but I still liked how it turned out, so I left it. I find that using the reference photos has made it easier for me to do the Inktober pieces every day because I haven't had to stress so much about trying to get the pose correct. So I'm probably going to do that for the next 2 days. There's only 2 days left, yay! Of this. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. I got to play around with the feet. I used another different reference photo for the outfit, and I had fun with it, and I had fun colouring it, and it was just a fun piece to do, and I'm happy with how it turned out. These last few have definitely been, not necessarily better, but I've liked the process and the outcome a lot more of these last few. I don't know if it's because I've sort of gotten to a rhythm of how I like to do it now at the very end, or if it's just because I've actually been using sort of reference photos for different sections and making the pieces more dynamic to look at. I've been trying to do that from the get-go, but I feel like I've finally sort of gotten something right on the past few. Anyway, I did struggle a little bit with the face because the photo that I used had big fat sunglasses on the girl, and I didn't want to draw big fat sunglasses, so I sort of struggled a little bit to get the face right, but I think it came out good how I wanted it to regardless of that. I did struggle with the dip pen for this one. I don't know if it's because I didn't put enough ink in the palette or what, but it just was not grabbing much ink, so I was having to dip it lots, and as you saw just then I had to tip my palette to try and get it all to pool in one area because it just was not picking it up, and it was very frustrating trying to line this piece and having to dip my pen every 2 seconds because it was just not working for me. It did, however, work out in the end. It was just frustrating and, yeah, messed up a few areas because I got too much ink on the nib, and then one section had not enough, so I added more, and then it was too much. It was like, frustration. Yeah, so for the skin tone, I did a watered down burnt sienna with just a touch of carmine to give it a bit of a redder tone to make it look more alive. I don't know, I'm still working on my skin tone mixing, but I like adding that tiny bit of red just because I feel like it makes it look like there's like blood under the skin, so it's living skin, not just, dead, horrible, you know what I mean. I like giving it that rosy colour a little bit. to just make it look a bit more saturated and lively, for lack of a better way of explaining it. Again, I struggled with her hair. I don't know what colour I used to do her hair the first time, but I cannot mix it again, and it's so frustrating. As I said in a previous video, I don't actually watch my videos again after I've done it, so maybe if I went back and actually yawn, actually looked at the video, I might see what colours I mixed to get the hair colour how I wanted it. But as far as we are at the moment, I just can't seem to get it right, and it's very frustrating to me. But it's not too bad in this piece. I just sort of had to add more black because I watered it down too much and it was too light, and then I was trying to add more black. I didn't want it to be too black. I wanted to still have a brown tone to it, and it was just so annoying. But I got there in the end, though my attempts at sort of shading the hair and giving it texture did bleed a little bit. I thought I waited long enough for the layer to dry before I added the texture, but obviously not, because it bled out a little bit, makes it look a little bit messy, but I don't know if you'll actually be able to tell on camera because it's so far away and so tiny. But yeah, note to self, let it dry a little bit longer. That's the only thing I had trouble with this piece because I wanted to do it so quickly, because I've actually managed to do it whilst Abigail's having a nap in the middle of the day, so I was trying to be quick so that I could finish it by the time she wakes up, and so I wasn't letting the layers dry long enough, so a lot of it did bleed into other sections, which was very frustrating, but it's my own fault. I know that I should have waited to let it dry longer, but I was just impatient, so sorry about that, at least. I didn't want to make a mess, but I did. Oh, goodness me. Why am I yawning so much today? It's like 4:20 in the afternoon, and I am just yawning constantly. And I'm sorry, because it does not make for interesting voiceover when I'm yawning like every 5 seconds. I can assure you of that, and I'm not even going to listen back to it. I'm just going to know that the yawning is not good. I don't know. Apparently I'm tired and cannot brain. So yeah, this is where I did the shading on the hair, and it's just bleeding out and not looking crisp or anything, and it's really frustrating because I waited for ages and it was still not dry enough apparently, which is annoying. And I'm gonna grumble about it for the rest of the video. Grumble, 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 grumble. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about the piece itself. I'm drinking kombucha on the side. It's peach flavored. It's very nice. I did primary colors again, mostly because it's on the other side of the page, or the other page, so like open spread of the previous one, which was all primaries, and I thought it'd look nice if they both open next to each other if they're the same sort of color scheme. So I also did a blue background, which I will tape off in a minute, you'll see. And yeah, it was just it was just a sort of relaxing piece, even though I was sort of stressing and trying to get it done really quickly. There we go, taping off the background, and I was sure it was dry enough before I started the background, but it ended up bleeding into some sections anyway, which was very frustrating. Maybe it's the paper, or the amount of water I mix into the colours that it bleeds into. I don't know, but I swore it was dry, but it still ends up bleeding into the dress a little bit in sections, and skin and the socks, I think, get a little bit of a blue tinge to them as well, which is annoying because I wanted the socks to be pink and not purple, but hey ho, spaghetti go, you can't have everything, I suppose. As for the detail of the background, I did a sort of fish scale arch pattern thing that I picked up from a neo-traditional tattoo design book that my fiance has. The cover has this pattern in the background, and I just really like how it looked on that piece. And I've used it before for a commission that I did, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it for this one, whether or not it sort of fits or not. I just wanted it to look more interesting than just plain blue, and I didn't really know how else to go about that. So I did this weird fish scale, like, archway patterny thing throughout, which was not as annoying as I thought it was going to be. Even going around, like, the rest of the image, it would have been so much easier if I had done the background first and, like, done masking fluid over the top of Arayla so that I could do the whole thing without stressing about going around her. But it wasn't actually as hard as I thought it was going to be, even with the foreground section and stuff. So yeah, it was fun, and that's pretty much the whole piece. I do come through with white at the end, obviously, to add some highlights, because who would I be if I didn't add highlights? I would not be me, that's for sure. Yeah, so that's this piece named Shoes, because as you can tell, the shoes are the main focal point. My goodness, they are completely taped off right now. I can't even see them. But I had fun with it, and I enjoyed drawing the shoes, even though a lot of the detail was lost because I coloured them in black. But hey ho, spaghetti-o. I don't know, how many times have I said hey ho this video? I don't know. I'm not going to watch it back to look because I'm too lazy for that. But, you know, if I've said it a lot, I apologise. I'm sorry if it's annoying. If it is annoying, feel free to use this video as a drinking game and take a shot every time I say hey ho. Don't do that, kids. Say no to alcohol. Alcohol's bad. It's bad for you. Drink juice. Juice is good. In limited quantities. Don't have too much sugar. Your parents will hate me. And that's that one. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all those YouTubey doobie doos, and check me out on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Patreon. Which at the end of Inktober I will upload all of these pieces to Patreon in a big post. So if you are on Patreon following me, you can see them all in one spot. Otherwise you'll have to scroll through Instagram, because I'm not doing a full post on Instagram with all of them, because that would be pointless. It would be tiny and you wouldn't be able to see any detail. So that's that. I'm also considering doing a video of a tour of my Inktober sketchbook. Do let me know below if you'd like to see that, and I will do it. Otherwise, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!